Well, hello there, and good evening, everyone. I'm William Brantley from South Jackson, Tennessee, in the Bemis, Tennessee area of South Jackson, Tennessee, on 3rd Street, ready to share with you yesterday's and today's climate summary and give you a forecast for the next few days momentarily. Boy, did we have a wet February the 28th. Here in Bemis and different parts of Jackson, Tennessee. Winded up with here in Bemis on 3rd Street, winded up with 3.34 inches of rainfall, and that is a brand new record amount for February the 28th. The old record was 1.80, and that happened in 2009, and that happened to be from all melted snow that we had on February the 28th of 2009. We had 13 inches of snow in 2009 on February the 28th. So we actually broke that melted snow equivalent number yesterday with 3.34 inches of rain here. But now for the month of February, I winded up with 14.49 inches of rain. Of course, that is a new record amount, as I mentioned, for February. The old record for February was 9.82 inches that fell in 2003. That's the record that we broke. Now for the year, we're up to 20.08 inches of rain for the year. First 2 months, and we've already up to 20 inches of rain. Amazing. First 2 months of the year. Yesterday's highest wind gust was 19 miles per hour out of the southeast at 5:01 a.m. yesterday. Yesterday's warmest high was 69 degrees at the Memphis, Tennessee airport. The high here in Bemis was 61 degrees. The low yesterday here in Bemis, by the way, was 51 degrees, and that happens to be the coolest low for yesterday in West Tennessee, right here in Bemis. Well, boy, I wish we could have gotten that 69 degrees yesterday. It did warm up toward midnight and after, though, here in Bemis. It just took a little longer to get here than it did down in Memphis. All right, what's next? Today's climate data, I guess. As of 5 p.m. here in Bemis, the skies was partly cloudy. The skies are clearing well. Actually, it's going to be kind of a cool night tonight, my friends. The temperature at 5 p.m. was 59 degrees. The dew point was 46 degrees. The humidity was at 63%. The wind was out of northwest at 14 miles per hour. And the barometric pressure would be 30.07 inches of mercury. Today's low temperature so far has been 56 degrees. It may be cooler than that by midnight. Today's high was 66 degrees. And from midnight till actually about lunchtime, well, really 5 p.m., I've had 62 hundredths of an inch of rainfall today. And so that means it rained on the first day of March. Oh my goodness. I hope that doesn't mean we're going to have the wettest March on record, because remember we rained on February 1st also of last month, and we winded up with 14 and a half inches of rain last month. Let's hope that don't happen in April. We'll see. Okay. That's an old folklore, by the way, that you're going to have a mighty wet month if it rains on the first day of the month. Technically, it's supposed to be the first 15 days. That don't always work out. But it usually winds up raining pretty close to at least 15 days out of the month, or at least it's going to be above normal, at least in the Jackson area. if it rains on the first day of the month. We'll see. Alright, lowest humidity today was 63% at 5 p.m. Highest would be 100%, and that occurred at 12 through 5, and then again at 7 through 9 a.m. The lowest barometric pressure would be 29.79 inches, and that happened at 3 a.m. The highest would be 30.07 inches, and that occurred at 5 p.m. Today's highest wind gust at the Jackson, Tennessee airport would be 27 miles per hour out of the north at 4:12 p.m. Now today's records for March the 1st, hottest high would be 81 degrees. Oh, wouldn't that feel good? That happened in 1997. Coldest high would be 32. Dang, that's cold. That happened in 1980. Warmest low would be 64 in 1997. It was a fairly warm day here in Bemis on March the 1st of 1997. And the coldest low would be 16 degrees in 1986. Now, another record that fell on March 1st of 1997. We had a lot of rain. Back on March the 1st of 1997, 6.69 inches of rain fell today back in 1997. Thank goodness that didn't fall today. Matter of fact, I recorded that one at my home on 4th Street back in 1997. I remember that one just like as it was yesterday. And there was a big rain back then. I'm 1 street north of there now, on 3rd Street. But there was on, I believe it was 4th and, South Massachusetts that I was living at back in 1997. Now I'm at 3rd and South Massachusetts. So I'm very close to where I started keeping my records here in Bemis. There's 1 street up from it. That's pretty close actually. But again, it was 6.69 inches in 1997. Thank goodness I didn't break my own record. Like I did for the month of February. Well, at least not yet, not this month. Snowfall record, we had 2 inches of snow today back in 1980 on March the 1st. Now, March the 1st of 2009, we had 1 inch of snow. But that's not a record technically, even though it was part of a record that was set on February 28th of 2009 of 13 inches. But technically today the record would be 2 inches in 1980 for March the 1st. Alrighty, I think that takes care of the basic summary. I'll go ahead and show you a few graphs and I guess that'd be it for tonight, everybody. Skies are clearing very nicely. It's going to continue to be that way for a few days. Matter of fact, we're in for a few days of a dry spell. Isn't that a nice word? I hadn't been able to say that very often lately, have I? A dry spell. As you can see, the clouds are clearing. I'm going to leave it right there. The dark shaded area, of course, is where it's clear. Let me lift that up so you can see a little bit better and get that glare out of it. East Tennessee still has a few clouds to move through, but West Tennessee still has a few south of us mainly. And the straddling the Mississippi-Tennessee border, the clouds are, but they're going to continue moving east or northeast like they are now. And we're going to wind up with all this dark here before too long. Dark means clear in this case. But there you see it for the whole state there. We're not in bad shape overall. Well, alrighty. Tennessee Doppler radar. Let me try that. Oh yeah, that's AccuWeather's version. This is the radar thanks to AccuWeather. Tennessee's view. Tennessee's rain free now. The whole state is. Closest rain down in central Georgia, south of Atlanta, on over into the South Carolina area. Let me branch it out just a little bit. Other stuff finally quit coming up. Thank goodness. Looks like the heaviest rain is off of the North Carolina border now, off the coast. They had some tornado warnings over North Carolina today. I hope it didn't affect my friend over there, and I kept looking, but something came up. I had to leave and had to quit watching. Hopefully he's okay. I hadn't heard anything from him or seen anything on Facebook that would be a horrible story. And I hope I don't. Boy, look at all that snow up there in the Great Lakes in Michigan and Lake Erie and all that heavy rain up in Pennsylvania up there. My goodness. They're getting it tonight like we've had it. Maybe not as bad. There's rain and snow scattered out west. You can see where it's doing that out in the west part of the country. I don't know if I can get a close-up view of that or not. Let me try that and see what that does. I'll get another one on on Weather Underground here in a few moments. That's a slightly closer view in case you're interested. Carolina's coast on up Pennsylvania is getting pounded with rain and thunderstorms tonight. Then there's a huge snow up around the Great Lakes, western New York, northwest Pennsylvania, and parts of northern Ohio actually. And they're getting a pretty good snow up in that area. And way on up there in Maine, looks like one going on up into Canada. A little touch of snow up there. Otherwise, it's all rain and thunderstorms. Alright. Let me see. Weather Underground. Go ahead and go to that. You get to see the nation as a whole, where the frontal systems are. That's another good look at the snow up north. The rain down south. Boy, look at them lows. Four low pressures off of the Atlantic coast. We're right along the eastern Atlantic coast there. My goodness. And way on down there near Brownsville, Texas. I don't know why I done that. I didn't touch anything. Let me get it on back down. So let me see if I can get it within view here. That'd be good enough right there. Maybe just looking at it made it do it. I don't know. Look at there's the lows and highs out west. You can see where they're at and where the precipitation is up in Canada. And there's that snow up north there. I probably could get a little closer to that. I concentrate on Tennessee first, though. Yeah, that'd be good enough right there. Put Tennessee in the middle. It's a good spot there. There's the rain off to our east, of course. That's that heavy precipitate rain that we saw a moment ago on AccuWeathers in Pennsylvania. Look at all that heavy snow up there. Parts of Michigan, Ohio, and New York. It's raining pretty good up there. Rochester, New York. That's the name one location. See if I can see some of the Detroit, Michigan. Let me get a little bit closer. That really looks neat. Well, neat to me. Probably horrible to them. Buffalo, New York, it's snowing. It's a pretty good area up there. Nothing like that around here, though. Youngstown, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. Just to name a few locations. It's just updated. Same places that we were just talking about. Snowing all the way down to Columbus, Ohio, it looks like, or right near Columbus, Ohio. And, of course, Detroit, Michigan, like I mentioned. On up to Saginaw, Michigan. I love that name. I don't know what it is about that name that I like. Saginaw, Michigan. There's no country song with that word name in it. Alright, I guess that's enough up north because it's It is not going to affect our weather, of course. Let me move on down to Tennessee and let you see for sure that there's nothing here in Tennessee. Nothing. It's all east and northeast of us. Alright. I just like the pretty shade of the blue there, I guess. Up there in Ohio. How nice and shady that was. But thank goodness we're fixing to go into spring. I sure hope so anyways. Alright, speaking of that, let me go on. I thought of something this last few minutes. Hey, and I'm right. Holy moly. I just thought of something, and yep, you can see it a little bit better because the print's a little bit bigger. I decided to start reading the forecast to you from my Google forecast blog, which that link is Mr. William Brantley's forecast.blogspot.com, and then this is it. And you can see it a little bit better because the print's bigger. So I'm going to read it off of that one instead of my WordPress blog, which most of you are familiar with that one, which is southjacksonweather.wordpress.com. But here you can see my Google one. Let me get it closer. You can see it a little bit better. Mr. William Brantley's forecast.blogspot.com. And let me back it off a little bit. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. And see, it's very much like my WordPress one, except it's a little bit bigger. A print, that is. And maybe you can see it better as I read it to you. So I'm kind of glad I've done that now. That's a little bit, maybe I can get a little closer too. Oh, how close I need to, well, you would. The closer I get, the plainer it is. Well. Alright, you can probably see it as I read it. I'll keep it right in here because that seems to catch most of it. That's today's forecast, and I updated it at about 6:50 p.m. I usually try to get to it before then, but tonight I was just getting lazy. I was just getting lazy and didn't want to do nothing. I wanted to leave the computer alone for a little while. But sorry about that. Sometimes it's just those days. But as soon as I do that, I get on it, then wish I'd already got on it. I better quit teasing. Forecast for the rest of the night, fair skies, of course. Partly cloudy at worst for the rest of tonight. It's on into tomorrow. It'll be mostly clear tomorrow, as you can see. Let me see if I can back this off and get a little plainer. The further off I go, the harder it is to see it, just like the other one. Let me get my other sheet out of the way. It seems like it's trying to get in my way now. I want this to be as plain as possible. I think that the closer I get to it, the better it is. I don't get too close, though. That's perfect right there, I think. Alright, the moon rose this evening at 5:41. It's already up. It'll be setting tomorrow morning. Full moon, by the way, is tonight. It sets tomorrow morning at 6:17 a.m. under mostly clear skies. And the sun will be rising tomorrow morning at 6:24 a.m. Just a few minutes after the moon sets at 6:17 a.m. That's what I was looking at there. Excuse me. Like I said, the sun will be rising at 6:24 a.m. The moon will be setting at 6:17 a.m. And the sun will be setting tomorrow evening at 5:51 p.m. The moon will be rising tomorrow evening at 6:48 p.m. and be setting at 6:57 a.m. Saturday morning. Now tomorrow specifically, mostly clear. Look at that low temperature, 36 degrees tomorrow morning. We might have a light frost in a few locations, especially on above ground surfaces. Tomorrow's high should be about 58 degrees. That will be a little bit cooler than today's 66, but Really, 58 with a lot of sunshine is not too bad. Even though we're going to have north winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. But at least it's not almost freezing cold. Now looking at Saturday, mostly clear. Low near 33, high near 61. Hey, it's going to warm up a little bit again, just a touch. Southeast winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. There you see the other times with the sun and the moon. And Sunday, mostly clear again. Low near 34, high near 67. Oh, Sunday's going to be perfect. Maybe a little chilly, but it's almost going to be 70 degrees by Sunday. High near 67. With east winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. There you see the other information. Rains in the forecast again by Monday. Mostly cloudy with a 80% chance of rain. Dropping to 50% by sunset, around 6 o'clock or so. Low near 46 degrees. High near 60 degrees. With south winds at 15 to 25. There you see the other information. Next Tuesday, fair skies. Low near 45. High of 59. West winds at 15 to 25. There you see the other information. By Wednesday of next week, it's going to be fair skies till noon. Then becoming mostly cloudy. No rains expected at this time for next Wednesday. Low near 36, high of 48, with northwest winds at 15 to 30. There you see the other information. Next Thursday, March the 8th, mostly cloudy skies till sunset, then becoming mostly clear. With a low near 33, my goodness. High of 51 with northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. By next Friday, March the 9th, mostly clear. Low near 35, high of 56 with west winds at 10 to 20. The last quarter moon is complete next Friday, March the 9th. And there you see the time it rises and sets. And then finally next Saturday, March the 10th, fair skies till Saturday night, then becoming mostly cloudy with a 60% chance of rain. It looks like a low near 44 and a high of 60 with south winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And there you see the other information. That makes it a whole lot easier for me to share you my forecast on this blog. And I will continue to do that, by the way. Now that I've done that, let me put it back on me before I sign off. And let you know, thank you for watching and viewing. And I hope you have a very pleasant Thursday night. I think tonight, Thursday night. Yeah. I had to look at my paper to be sure. Thursday night, I hope you have sweet dreams and have a wonderful Friday. Tomorrow, March the 2nd. And be careful just in case there might be some light scattered frost in the morning. But it should warm up very nicely. I believe on up to, what was it again? High tomorrow near 58 degrees. That's okay. It'd be nice if it was 68 degrees, but not yet. And it doesn't look like no 70s for highs are expected either for the next 2 weeks. It's probably going to wind up being toward the end of March or early April before we can enjoy that. Looks like, at least at this point. This way it's looking, unless things change, of course. Well, alrighty, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching and viewing as always. God bless you, sweet dreams, and hope to talk to you again soon. And hopefully we'll start drying out. At least for a few days anyways. Good night and God bless.